Hey guys, so today we are making a grilled corn salad. It's going to have corn and lots of other veggies. We're starting off with the dressing, which is about 2 tablespoons of olive oil and 1 teaspoon of minced garlic, which is the equivalent of about 2 cloves. And as always with garlic and heat, we want to keep it moving so that it does not burn. Okay, this looks good. So, I'm going to pour this into a bowl and set this aside to cool completely before adding the rest of the dressing ingredients. Okay, so now we need to prep our vegetables. We're going to start off with our corn, and of course we do this by first shucking, by peeling off the outer leaves. And breaking off that stem. Place in the sink. Now that our corn is shucked, we're going to cover the ears with water. Okay, now that the ears are covered, we're just going to use our fingers to pull off these extra little threads from the outside. First, we're going to give it a rinse. And then you just need to snap off the woody end at the bottom. Next up we have an onion. And we are going to cut this in half first. And then we're going to peel off both the wrapper and the outermost layer. And we are going to trim off this top part. And then each half we are going to cut into quarters. So, now for tomatoes, it's going to depend entirely on which kind you get as to how to prepare it. For these tomatoes on the vine, I'm just going to cut them open and scoop out the seeded areas, the gooey bit, with a grapefruit spoon. Alright, next up is the avocado. And even though this is going in the fridge and not being cooked, you still want to use, or to cut it before you use the cutting board for the jalapenos. Okay, so just run the knife around on the outside, twist, and there we go. And you just want to get a few slices across. And then flatten out the rind and get your knife down and run the knife across your rind. Alright, so the avocado is ready, and I'm just going to throw some extra lime juice on it and toss it in the fridge so that it does not get brown. Finally, our jalapenos. So cut off the tops, run the knife along the middle, and then just scrape out the seeds and the inner vein. Okay, so you probably can't see it from where you are right now, but once you get a jalapeno in your hands, you want to look at the ribs here for a yellow vein. That is one of the spicy parts, so you want to make sure that you get all that out. Okay, so we are back to our dressing. We're going to start off with the zest of 2 limes. And of course, remember when zesting, don't get the white pith part. That is nasty. Okay, now that the zest is ready, we're going to split the limes and add the juice. And next up, we are adding about 10 sprigs of cilantro. But I don't like chopping it because the stem doesn't really break down and then it gets stuck in your teeth. So I will tediously pluck the leaves to avoid that. Okay, so cilantro's in, and now we are going to add lots of salt. There we go. And we're just going to let the flavors marry in that while we cook our vegetables. To grill your veggies, arrange coal in a foil pan with holes stabbed in the bottom on one side for zone heating. Over direct heat, place corn, jalapenos, and tomatoes skin side down. Put onions in the medium zone in the middle. Arrange the asparagus across the grate in the cooler zone. Cover the grill with the lid and allow to cook approximately 5 minutes. After the first 5 minutes, remove the lid and rearrange vegetables as necessary. Tomatoes and jalapenos should begin to char. Onions should start softening, and corn should take on a richer color. Flip the corn and onions so a new side can take the heat. Replace the lid and continue grilling, checking vegetables every few minutes to move to a different zone or remove from the grill. Okay, so our vegetables are ready and they're cool enough to handle. So we are going to start with our corn. We're going to take a regular cereal bowl or something and put it into our larger bowl. So we're going to start off by running the blade from the top of the ear to the bottom. Of course, always be aware of where your fingers on your other hand are, just in case. There we go. So we've got all the kernels off, but there's still a lot of corn flavor attached to the cob here. So we are going to flip the knife and use the spine, and we are going to actually milk the cob and just get all that extra stuff out of there. Corn is done. Next up, we will do our onion. Okay, so for these onion quarters, then we are just going to slice off the root end, make one cut through just to thin it out, and then run the blade across to dice. Alright, next up are the tomatoes. We just want to slice off the top bit here where it's got that little thing where the vine attaches. And then slice in one direction, turn, slice the other direction, scoop. There we go. Next up, we'll work on our jalapenos. And all you're going to want to do is just cut them lengthwise first into strips. And then the other direction to dice. And finally, our asparagus. And the easiest way to do this is to line up the fancy end here and work from that side down. Okay, so we have all our chopped veggies. We're going to add our dressing, stir to coat, and separate the ingredients. Be sure to taste for seasoning. Could use a little more salt. So last but not least, our avocado. Hey guys, so it is the next morning. I'm having a big bowl of our salad for breakfast, along with some rice and beans that I just made. Of course, everything's vegan, as well as being gluten-free, obviously. So, let's get into our salad and see how we did. It's been sitting in the fridge overnight, so all the flavors should have really melded, and that dressing should have really soaked into every bite. So, here we go. Amazing. You wouldn't even believe it was vegan, except for the fact that, you know, you actually just made it. Delicious. And, I've got to tell you guys that I actually came up with this recipe while going through the weekly ad at Publix. Corn is in season now. Fresh Florida corn. It's really sweet. It's delicious. It is perfect for grilling and chopping up into a salad. And then asparagus is in season right now and on sale. And then tomatoes and onions and stuff are, of course, always available, so they're always cheap. So, you know, it's a really great recipe for budgeting, as well as for making sure that you get lots of vegetable goodness in a single dish. Not to mention that vegetables are never better than when they're in season. So, you know, definitely always take advantage of seasonal vegetables. So good. So, I am going to devour this for breakfast. So if you guys have any questions, then leave a comment either on YouTube or on the actual blog post. Or you can send me a contact form on my website. So enjoy this delicious vegan salad, and I will see you guys next time on the Deglutenizer. My book is now available. Of course, I wanted to offer a book rather than just having a donate button, so that you guys would, of course, get something in return for helping to support my blog. It's got some great recipes. Some were just really simple, only a few steps, take a couple minutes, so obviously I couldn't dedicate an entire blog post to those types of recipes, so those are in there. I've got some where it's a variation on an existing blog recipe, so I've got some of those. And of course there's a lot of great photos. I've got my typical written instructions. And you can get it two ways. You can download the PDF directly from the store on my website, or you can go to Amazon Kindle and download it there. So I hope you guys will go and pick up a copy and support continued work on the Deglutenizer.